Hello everybody, I am Dr. Panduranga Nayak, Principal and Associate Professor, Sri Venkatramana Swami College, Bantwal. Today I am going to interact with you on the topic Input Tax Credit Part 4. Already I have given sufficient insights as to the computation of GST and utilization of input tax credit and various related issues. Today, let me solve a few more problems so that you understand how input tax credit is utilized. Charan is a taxable person in Bangalore. So please note he is from Bangalore. So place is very important because you have to decide whether the supply is within the state or between the states. If it is within the state, we call that intra-state. CGST and SGST are to be applied. Whereas if it is interstate supply, then IGST has to be calculated and it should be included in the total GST. He gives the following information from which calculate CGST, SGST and IGST payable for the month of March 2019. Before going ahead, let me very briefly tell about all these three terminologies. CGST, Central Goods and Services Tax. SGST, that is State Goods and Services Tax. IGST, Integrated Goods and Services Tax. And there are three things. One is output tax, another one is input tax, and the other one is net tax. Output tax is on the outward supply. We supply the goods to a dealer or a retailer or consumer. When we supply the goods, we collect the taxes, and that is output tax. So that should be paid to the government. GST should be paid to the government. Output tax should be paid to the government. But if there is any input tax can be adjusted against output tax, and the remaining amount has to be paid in cash. So I told you about input tax. Input tax is on inward supply. Inward supply means we are being supplied with goods by somebody else. We are the receiver of goods. So when we receive the goods, we pay the GST. So that is inward supply, GST on inward supply, and that is input tax. And input tax can be adjusted against output tax, and thereby net tax is payable. That is, output tax minus input tax is equal to net tax payable. So you must understand these three terminologies. If the goods are sold within the state, the tax rate is divided between CGST and SGST equally. Supposing tax rate is 12%, if the transaction is within the state, then CGST is 6%, SGST 6%. So we call this dual tax system. Whereas if the supply is, or if the transaction is between the states or interstate, then only IGST is charged, and it is not going to be divided. Okay, let us look into the transactions given here. Supply of goods to Mysore 5%, 14 lakh. So Mysore is in Karnataka only, and therefore that is a intra-state transaction. Transaction within the same state. So CGST and SGST are to be calculated by applying 2.5% each on 14 lakh. Supply to a taxable person in Maharashtra. This is interstate transaction. So IGST at the rate of 12% should be calculated on 24 lakh. Supply to SEZ developer in Bangalore. So this is zero rated transaction or supply, and therefore no tax is going to be levied. Supply of exempt goods to Udupi. Okay, the goods are exempt from tax. Export to Canada. So export of goods, and that is exempt from tax. That is zero rated, I mean. Supply to a taxable person in Goa, delivery of goods received in Bangalore by their agent. So delivery is in Bangalore, but the goods are supplied on the instruction of a taxable person in Goa. Therefore it is taken as interstate transaction, and IGST has to be calculated on 8 lakh. Rendered service to a person in Pondicherry. So again, interstate transaction, and therefore IGST has to be calculated on this. Provided service to a person in Madras. Even this one, interstate transaction, IGST at the rate of 18% on 8 lakh. Goods supplied to a job worker in Chennai. So this is not considered to be a supply, and therefore this is not taxable. Rendered service to foreign diplomatic mission. So here we assume that these services are rendered within Karnataka, and therefore CGST and SGST rates are applied and taxes are being calculated. Okay, he had a credit in electronic credit ledger, IGST 45,000, CGST 40,000, and again SGST 40,000. Okay, first let us calculate output tax. Supply of goods to Mysore, I told you that is intra-state transaction. So CGST and SGST are to be calculated, and 5% is divided into 2 equal proportions, that is 2.5 and 2.5. 2.5 percentage is applied on 14 lakhs, so you will get 35,000, and here 35,000, totally 70,000, which is equal to 5% on 14 lakh. Supply to Maharashtra, that is interstate transaction, so IGST has to be calculated. So 24,000 into 12%, so 2,88,000 IGST. Supply to a special economic zone developer in Bangalore, it is deemed export, so zero rate is applied here, and therefore taxes are nil. Supply of exempted goods, since the goods are exempt from tax, no GST. Then export to Canada, it is zero rated and therefore no tax. Supply in Goa received in Bangalore, this is considered to be interstate supply, and therefore IGST is calculated at the rate of 5% on 8 lakh. And service to a person in Pondicherry, so interstate transaction, IGST is calculated at the rate of 18%. Service to a person in Madras, interstate transaction, IGST is calculated. And then service to goods supplied to a job worker in Chennai, I already told. So this is not considered to be a supply for taxable purpose, therefore that is not taxable. Services to foreign diplomatic mission, we assume that the services are rendered within Karnataka, therefore 6% each is applied on 1 lakh, and CGST and SGST values are calculated. So this is about computation of output tax. Now input taxes are given, input tax credits are given. It is given in the problem. You might have already observed. So here credit in electronic credit ledger. These are nothing but input tax credits. Now first what you have to do is you have to consider IGST output tax. Then you have to see IGST input tax. They must be compared. Okay, 4,81,000 output tax, 45,000 is the input tax. So there is deficit or shortage of 4,36,000. Okay, only if there is surplus, then it should be utilized for paying CGST and SGST. Otherwise, okay, we'll see the position in the case of CGST. So 41,000 is the output tax. Input tax of CGST is 40,000. So if you set off, only 1,000 remains. This is payable. And then here 41,000 is the output tax, whereas input tax credit is 40,000. So 1,000 is the SGST tax payable. So thus in this case all the three taxes are payable, that is CGST, SGST and IGST. Okay. Now let us see some of the notes relating to that. Supply of goods to special economic zone developer is considered as deemed export and chargeable at 0 rated. Export of goods to Canada is chargeable at 0 rate. Place of supply in the case of goods supplied to Goa but received in Bangalore is Goa as per section 10 subsection 1 subclause B of IGST Act 2017. Hence this transaction is considered as interstate supply and chargeable at IGST. It is assumed that services rendered to foreign diplomatic mission are within the state and chargeable at CGST and SGST. Goods sent by a taxable person to a job worker will not be treated as supply and not liable to GST. Okay, this is about the problem which you have analyzed. Now we'll move on to one more problem. Spike Limited has its head office based at Chennai, has 5 branch offices at Bangalore, Indore, Hyderabad, Bhopal and Ahmedabad. It seeks the service of expert security solutions based at Chennai for cyber security for its HO, its head office and its branches. Expert security solutions raises bill which include GST amounting to rupees 2,50,000 on the HO. The turnover of head office and branches during the quarter ending 31st/12/2018 were as follows. Chennai HO 2,30,000, Indore 2,80,000, Bangalore 1,80,000, Bhopal 3,25,000, Hyderabad 1,50,000 and Ahmedabad 1,25,000. Compute the distribution of input tax by the Chennai HO to its branches if it takes ICD registration in Chennai. ICD means Input Service Distributor. Input Service Distributors. So here Chennai HO is considered to be Input Service Distributor. Here the bill is raised by the expert security solutions on the head office, but the benefit is received not only by the HO head office but also all the branch offices. Therefore, the input tax credit of 2,50,000 that should be distributed among the different branches. How that is being done? So you have to compute the turnover. So turnover is given. So just look at the calculation here. Say Chennai 2,30,000, Indore 2,80,000, Bangalore 1,80,000, Bhopal 3,25,000. Like that, turnover of different branches and head office are given. Now total is 12,90,000. Now you have to see what is the proportion of the turnover of each of these branches to that of total turnover, and accordingly you have to apply that on the input tax, total input tax of 2,50,000. Then you will get the individual share of each branch. Let us see the calculation. See, 2,50,000 is the total input tax. Okay, now this is to be distributed among all the 6 offices. So turnover of that office, that is HO, to the total turnover should be calculated. And then proportionately you are getting the value here, 44,574. 2,50,000 into 2,30,000 divided by 12,90,000. 2,30,000, that is the turnover of Chennai HO, whereas 12,90,000 is the total turnover. What is the portion of turnover of Chennai HO to that of total turnover? That should be found out. And you have to apply that on the total turnover, total input tax. So you will get the share of Chennai HO. Similarly, you have to calculate on other branches. Indore, for example, 2,50,000 is the total input tax. So that should be distributed. So here turnover is 2,80,000 in the case of Indore. Total turnover is 12,90,000. So you have to find out what is the portion of or proportion of turnover of Indore to that of total turnover. And then you have to apply that on 2,50,000. Then you will get its share. Then Bangalore, Bhopal, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. So similarly it is being calculated. So when you add up individual share, total will be 2,50,000. Similar problem I have already worked out in my previous lecture. Okay, now let me take up one more small problem. A manufacturer of Hubli sells zinc coated steel drums, each for 1,000 plus a GST of 5% to a wholesaler located in Dharwad. So manufacturer has supplied it to wholesaler of Dharwad. He sells the same to retailer located in Hyderabad. And then he supplies it to a consumer in Hyderabad only. Okay, here Hubli to Dharwad, intrastate. Dharwad to Hyderabad, that is interstate. And to the consumers in Hyderabad only, that is intrastate. Okay, now what they ask is, what is the end price of the consumer? You can very, very easily get the answer. For example, 1,800 plus GST of 5%. So just locate the value here, 1,800. That is the value. And GST is calculated at 5%. Since it is intrastate, so 5% is divided into 2.5 and 2.5. Therefore, when you apply 2.5 on 1,800, you will get 45 and 45. Total is 90,000. So value to be payable by the consumer is 1,800 plus 90, 1,890. Yes. Now, before that, let us analyze. So Hubli, manufacturer to wholesaler, intra supply. Yes, value is 1,000 and GST is 5%. Okay, 5% is 2.5. Actually, 5% on 1,000 is 50 rupees. It is given here. So at the rate of 2.5, that will come to 25 and 25. So total GST is 50. Then a wholesaler sells that to the retailer at Hyderabad, 1,500 plus IGST at 5%. 5% on 1,500 comes to 75 rupees. Actually, here it is interstate transaction, therefore IGST is calculated. IGST is 75. Then it is sold to the consumer, and it is sold for 1,800. So 1,500 to 1,800. That means value added is 300. And previously 1,000 to 1,500. Value added in between is 500. So here 1,000 to that 500 is value added. As a result, you will get 1,500. And 1,500 is sold for 1,800. And therefore here 300 is added. Retailer to consumer, 1,800 at which the goods are sold. and CGST and SGST are 45 and 45, so 90 rupees. So the final price paid by the consumer is nothing but 1,800 plus 90, 1,890. GST paid by the earlier person's claim input tax credit. For example, here, say wholesaler to retailer. He collects 75 rupees taxes, but he pays 50 rupees that is tax on the purchases. He purchases from wholesaler, a supply is made to him by the wholesaler, so input tax is 50, output tax is 75, so the net tax is just 25. Okay. Then again here, retailer to consumer. See, he gets 90 rupees, 45 plus 45, 95. That is output tax. Whereas he has paid 75 rupees to the wholesaler. Therefore, 75,000 is the input tax. So 90 minus 75, that means 15 rupees. That is the net tax payable. Anyway, they have the opportunity to avail input tax credit, whereas ultimate consumer does not enjoy that privilege. So thus the price paid by him ultimately is 1,890, 1,800 plus 90. Now we will solve one more problem. Let us go to the problem. Jairam Cloth Stores provides the following information for August 2018. Now let us see the items here one by one. Intra-state supply of goods. So that is within the state. So CGST and IGST should be calculated on 5 lakh in order to get output tax, on 3 lakh in order to get input tax. Then intra-state supply of goods. So on purchases we will get input tax, and here we are calculating IGST because it is intrastate only, and therefore CGST and SGST at the rate of 6% on 5 lakh input tax, on 7 lakh output tax, 6% each. Interstate supply of goods, so 1,10,000. So it is only inward supply. So since it is interstate IGST, but out of 1,10,000 you have to deduct this one, goods received during September next month. That should be deducted. Rent paid for business premises, so that is to be calculated at the rate of 9% each. Stock insurance 40,000 at the rate of 9% each. Bank charges for loan renewal, that's also 9% each. Personal cost charges, this is personal transaction, so it has not to be taken here. Security charges, Shakti Security Services, who has failed to file the GST returns. See, a dealer will get input tax credit only if the supplier files GST returns. Otherwise, the dealer will not get any input tax credit. Here, Shakti Security Services, they have not filed the GST returns, and therefore these are not going to get, a dealer is not going to get input tax credit. Consultancy service received from unregistered person, that is like reverse charge, but that is exempt here, and therefore that is not to be considered while calculating input tax credit. Interstate purchase of goods, and you know very well that is you have to calculate 12% on 70,000 IGST. Okay, let us see the output tax, input tax, and GST liability. Output tax payable should be calculated first. Intrastate supply of goods, already I told you, 5% each on 5 lakh. Intrastate supply of goods, once again 6% each on 7 lakh. The total is 54,500 CGST, 54,500 SGST. No IGST. Input tax credit available. Intrastate purchase of goods 3 lakh into 2.5% each, so 7,500 and 7,500 at the rate of 2.5%. Intrastate purchase of goods, again 6% on 5 lakh, CGST 30,000 and SGST 30,000. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12%. 30 plus 30 is equal to 60. 5,000 into 12 is equal to 60,000. Interstate purchase of goods 1,10,000 minus goods returned, and therefore not returned, goods are supplied, goods received during September, right? Goods are supplied in the next month, therefore that has to be deducted. And it is interstate, therefore IGST. Rent paid for business premises, so 9% each within the state. Stock insurance within the state. Bank charges for loan renewal, that is again within the state, 9% each. Interstate purchase of goods on 70,000 at the rate of 12% IGST. So 45,150 and 45,150. Then IGST 18,600. Now let us find out how net tax is being computed. Output tax payable is 54,000, 54,500 and nil here. But input tax credit, you find here 18,600 IGST. So first IGST should be utilized. 18,600. So there is no output tax here as far as IGST is concerned. So this is considered to be surplus. So that should be utilized towards payment of CGST and SGST. We are doing that equally. But there is no rule as such. So that could be utilized in any order and in any proportion, which I have already explained earlier. So after set off of 9,300 and 9,300 from IGST, what remains is 45,200 CGST and 45,200 SGST, and entire surplus is being exhausted. Now let us set off the input tax credit of CGST and input tax credit of SGST. So we did that. As a result, now what remains is 50 rupees CGST and 50 rupees SGST. GST paid on personal car service charges is not eligible for input tax credit. Already I told you. Input tax credit of tax paid on security charges is not available as service provider has failed to file GST returns. I already made a mention about that. Only if the supplier has filed the income tax returns, then only the receiver of the goods, the dealer, will get the input tax credit, otherwise not. Consultancy services received from unregistered dealer is not taxable under reverse charge basis under section 9 subsection 4. Okay, thank you.